What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my Godzilla comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla Kai-Sei Era, issue number 6, Godzilla vs. Jacen, Braid, and Lament. Which, the last issue, I was kind of confused by the revelation about Lament. I was like, is Lament Jacen's mom? Is it something else? Whatever. But they do clarify that Lament is Jacen's mother. Like, she, after the Godzilla destroyed the lab, she kind of fused, like, was basically turned into Lament. We'll just go into that, and she's basically the anti-Kai-Sei thing, and just latching on and destroying everything Kai-Sei related, and basically has pushed Jacen into trying to kill Godzilla. And, spoiler alert, Godzilla does in fact kind of die in this issue. He gets basically blown to bits, and his energy, or Kai-Sei energy, manifests itself, like his spirit manifests itself into Jacen by the Jacen. I'm going to say Jason is how you pronounce it. Jecen. Is manifest, like his spirit is kind of like fuses itself within like Jacen by the end of it. So yeah, that's a pretty crazy thing. Like Godzilla is very brutalized and like outmatched kind of in this particular reality by the rage of Jacen and the Kai-Sei energy. But you know, Dr. Chiba is really against Lament and is like, that's the real threat, not Godzilla. Even though Godzilla's caused a lot of destruction and stuff. I mean, maybe if you took out both of them, then maybe you'll be better off. But there's always going to be threats on the horizon. But Godzilla's still going to be destroying stuff and, you know, still killed a lot of people and all that. So, I mean, wouldn't you want to take him out? But, like, I mean, I'm obviously rooting for Godzilla and a lot of this stuff. But, you know, it's kind of a back and forth thing. I mean, if you get rid of him, then you took care of one problem, but then another more dangerous problem could potentially arise. But that's the risky run of it. So, yeah, Lament's there. Godzilla doesn't really fight Lament. It's kind of the other heroes that do so. But, you know, Chiba's like, don't do it, Jacen. Don't do it. You can't get rid of Godzilla. Lament's the real threat. Lament's the real threat. Even though it's like your mom fused and all that. She even like, kind of invades, like, her mind. And also kind of was like, hey, when your son was in this place, you didn't go see him. You didn't do really anything. So, but then, of course, like, the rage that Jacen feels ultimately kind of implodes Godzilla's body. Like, the Kai-Sei energy just kind of goes berserk. And it kind of manifests itself like his spirit within him, and so that's kind of where the issue ends. And the next issue is teasing Godzilla's new powerful form. But yeah, Godzilla is dead, at least his physical body is. Now his spirit lives on through Jacen, so we'll see what happens there, maybe how it kind of remanifests itself. Lament kind of flies away by the end of this issue, but there's some tension, some drama in there. It's kind of surprising that they blow up Godzilla in this thing, so his physical body has been destroyed, but the spirit lives on through Jacen, and I'm sure he'll find a way to kind of form a new body, or maybe Jacen, kind of like his mom, turns into Godzilla, into some sort of hybrid thing, you know, how his mom turned into a kaiju. So that's the direction I think they're probably going to go in. But then you have to factor in some of the other spin-off comics. What about the what was I going to say? The Escape the Dead Zone comic, where the kids are supposedly meant as the means to kind of tame Godzilla. And then you got Starship Godzilla. Like, what's going on with that thing? How are all these titles going to cross over at some point? I'm waiting for that, because I've been covering all of them for several months now, and I'm just waiting for the moment where they all start to really tie in together. I mean, they're in this shared universe, but I'm more intrigued when those characters start to cross paths. That's the thing I'm most looking forward to seeing, when we hopefully maybe ever get to that sort of moment. So I don't know, it's kind of strange to have a shared Godzilla comic book universe, because we've never really had one before, with 3 titles that have their own distinct flavor and vibes to them all, with Exploring the Dead Zone and, you know, this whole one that's more focused on Godzilla, and then you have some stuff that goes cosmic a little bit too. So it's kind of interesting. But then you have like things where they mentioned the Dead Zone. I just kind of thought of this off the top of my head, where everyone thinks that everyone in the Dead Zone's dead. But then you have things where like Starship Godzilla, where you can kind of fly around. So I'm like, couldn't people use spaceships and all that to fly around different planets and all that, unless they're different types of aliens or whatever? I don't know. I guess I got to wait and see how it all kind of comes together, and just to kind of get that in my head and figure that all out. So I don't know, I just thought of that now. But anyways, so overall, a pretty solid issue, probably the strongest so far in this run. I like the action in it, and seeing Godzilla blow up was pretty intense. I mean, to be fair, I've seen Godzilla blow up in things before, right? Remember the crappy anime trilogy? The polygon versions, Godzilla, well, the smaller version of Godzilla blows up there, and then they reveal the bigger, more massive one. They had a flat, kind of sort of blowing up Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Destroyer, where they talk about him exploding. And then they also talked about, well, I mean, they ended up doing the meltdown. The explosion was just kind of a what if sort of scenario that they kind of showcased there. So, but yeah, Godzilla's destroyed. But I think with the Toho rules, Godzilla is never really truly gone. He always finds his way back, and that's what we'll see in subsequent issues, how he kind of comes to be. But I think the idea of him turning, like Jacen kind of morphing into the kaiju Godzilla as like one singular being, where he kind of becomes like since their consciousness is kind of fused together in some way, that's what's going to be used to fight Lament. So it's like he's fighting his own mom, but in the body of Godzilla. But then you have the kids who can kind of merge into kaijus in the Dead Zone comic book. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I do like this one. This one's pretty solid. So yeah, overall, I guess thumbs up for me for this issue of the Kai-Sei Era stuff. What did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. I will be back again, actually, like right after this, because I'm playing catch up with a lot of my Godzilla, with my comic book reviews from last week. This is usually what I do if I'm a little bit behind. I'm like, okay, here's like, because like, I mean, when I think about it, I had like 7 or 8 like comics to get through. Sometimes I just can't get through them right away, or I got other things that just kind of take up all my spare time. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, let's sit down, let's read, let's focus, and let's get these things ironed out like right away. So I enjoy when I can get them done. But yeah, so I saved these ones for last. But anyways, now that they're all done, let me know what you thought of them in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh, you know what? That'll be a separate video. But I did see the Monarch Season 2 trailer, and I thought it looked pretty cool. So there's my thoughts on that. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.